Hello, my name is Mr. Barlow, and today we are doing another 8-mark question. Learning question is: explain what was important about the Norman reforms to the church. Now, in order to attain the highest marks, we need to show off our higher order thinking skills on the left, be able to demonstrate knowledge and understanding, explain and analyze the importance within the context of other changes. On the right, in purple, going upwards, we have a level 1 and level 2 answer, which will be basic and simple reasoning of one consequence supported by facts, to the silver, 5 to 6 marks, which is more developed reasons of 2 or more consequences supported by facts, to bronze level, which is our goal, 7 to 8 marks, a level 4, an extended analysis of the consequences of changes to the church within the broader context of Norman England. In order to get top marks, get into our bronze level, we need to put together 2 or more Peel paragraphs. That's point, evidence, explanation, and link back to the question. Now, point 1, the importance of the bishops. The Normans replaced the Anglo-Saxon bishops and archbishops. Lanfranc replaced Stigand as Archbishop of Canterbury. In 1072, Lanfranc gained the supremacy as Archbishop of Canterbury over York. Both William I and his son, William II, both saw church positions as rewards for their friends and followers. Although demanded, Lanfranc never swore an oath of loyalty to the Pope over his king. So we have Lanfranc working very closely with William I, the William the Conqueror. Point 1, the importance of the bishops continued. William II did not replace Archbishop of Canterbury, the position after Lanfranc's death, and plundered church lands. However, in 1093, Anselm was finally appointed, but he quarrelled with William II over church interference, for which he was banished twice. Anselm proposed religious reform based on Pope Gregory VII's church beliefs. Gregorian reforms were to be independent of kings and to improve the moral principles of the clergy. In 1078, Pope Gregory VII banned kings from appointing bishops and abbots, which led to a power struggle across Europe called the Investiture Controversy that raged from 1075 to 1122. So we have the bottom there, the picture of William II, the Rufus, the Red, versus his Archbishop Anselm. Point 2, the importance of the reorganization. William I made changes to normanize the church systems and increase his authority. The Normans changed the relationship between monarchy and papacy. According to the great historian Frank Barlow, the king set the limit of church power. William I and II collected geld taxes from churches, which emphasized the power of the state over the church. And point 2 continued, the importance of reorganization. Norman organization was applied to England of having diocese archdeaconries and deaneries. On the right, we have the expansion of monasteries, went from 60 in Anglo-Saxon times to 250 during Norman times. In 1135, there were 4 times the number of monks at 5,000 than in Anglo-Saxon times. Lanfranc tried to enforce papal bans on pluralism, that's having more than one job at the same time. Simony, which is the buying of jobs, the buying, selling of positions, Nepotism, which is giving jobs to your friends and relatives, which is not based on their merit. Marriage, and corruption, which of course has been dishonest, things like fraud and bribery. Now, most Anglo-Saxon priests kept their positions under the new Norman regime, and even some married ones remained during the Norman reforms. And we have pictured on the left Tewkesbury Abbey as one of the Norman monasteries. Point 3, the importance of change in architecture. Now, the Normans seized treasures of the Anglo-Saxon monasteries, and with the treasures, they helped them to fund the building of huge stone church buildings in what was called the Romanesque style. They were grand statements of the power of the Norman church. Towering new cathedrals were built at Durham, Winchester, Salisbury, and Lincoln. William I built Battle Abbey, which is very familiar to you guys, which was completed in 1095 on the orders of Pope Alexander as penance. That means to make good for all the bloodshed of the conquest. And we have Battle Abbey on the top right, and bottom right is a picture of the finest cathedral of the Norman period, Durham Cathedral. And finally, point 4, the importance of the changes in ecclesiastical, that's church laws. In 1076, the Council of Westminster decreed, that means they made the statement, only church courts could try members of the clergy. And the papal law was imposed of 1 pence tax for every household. However, William I interfered for his revolting half-brother, Bishop Odo, to be put on trial as Earl of Kent rather than Bishop of Bayeux, because he knew how soft the church courts were. So that's an overview of the paragraphs that you will need to have a go at to complete the answer 4, to explain what was the importance about the Norman reforms to the church. Thank you for listening.